What's good, y'all? It's A-Fizzle here, tuning with y'all on this AM, this morning time. And the sun's supposed to come out real soon. I'm waiting on it, patiently. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. I'm not going to disclose which day of the week it is, but just know it's morning time. I'm here downtown, Riverwalk. Phoenix City is just right across the river over there. And you know, I got people fishing, and we got a bunch of creeps here in this city. This one guy, I think he's had too much meth. He's talking about, woo, go to good. Yeah, I say, just get off that meth. It's not good for you. You're gonna die in 10 years if you don't stop. Anyways, scale to the purpose of this video. I've been meaning to do this video for the last couple weeks. I wanted to do it here in downtown on Riverwalk because it seems so apropos to do it. So I'm going to do it right now. Now I got a little bit of the opportunity to do so. I stand by what I say. The NBA today sucks. I know what's going on with the NBA right now. You know, I do got the NBA app, and I also have the ESPN app, so I do get updates of what's going on with the NBA. I know who's in the playoff hunt. I know who's trying to fight for their playoff lives. I even know who's eliminated from the playoffs. So I'm not literally what's going on in today's NBA. You know, me growing up in the 90s, growing up watching hardcore basketball, you know, no holds barred. And then kind of seeing how it became during my adult years, I'm disappointed. Very disappointed. And I know some people are going to be like, well, you know, times change. I get that. I'm accepted to the change of the guard. I think I got two pissed in my mouth. I'm in acceptance with the change of the times. I welcome change. But there is a such thing as changing for the good and just changing for the bad when you don't necessarily have to change at all. So yeah, that's the change I'm talking about. And this is not for the good. I know some people say that about the NFL, but this is not about the NFL right now. Speaking of, I will not be making any NFL content at all unless between now and September, unless it's the draft, which at this point, I don't think I'll be streaming the draft, so you're not going to get any NFL coverage on this channel until September when the season starts and when I feel like streaming games again. So just so I got to point that out. You know, I'll let y'all other cats have this off season because y'all love the off season so much. Y'all can't wait for the off season to get here so you can talk about this person coming to your team and getting all excited, only to be disappointed when that person don't come to your team at all. So hey, that's y'all. That's not me. That's not what we do at A-Fizzle Productions. But NBA. I can't speak for 50s, 60s, or 70s NBA. Like, I can only go off from highlights. And honest to God, NBA back then was much slower paced. So, you know, they didn't really have a big audience unless it's like a Celtics-Lakers game. Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor and all those cats. You know, that's like the only time the NBA really had a big draw. Maybe outside of Celtics, Lakers. Maybe when at the time the San Francisco Warriors, who are now the Golden State Warriors, had good teams. I think they made the NBA Finals twice in the 60s. So you got that. And then the 70s. Rest in peace, Willis Reed, by the way. I did hear it by his passing. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So rest in peace, Willis Reed. He played for the Knicks in the 70s, won a couple of NBA titles, 73. So, you know, you had the 70s. It kind of picked up the pace just a little bit. You start to see some sort of personality. You know, with Tiny Archibald and company, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming in with the skyhook. You know, you start to see a parody in the NBA in the 70s, which you didn't really see that at all in the 60s. But to me, the real NBA, I'm not saying today's NBA is fake, I'm just saying it sucks. But the real NBA, to me, began in 1979. Y'all enjoy that view. I won't get in that river though. But yeah, to me, the real NBA began in 1979 when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird both came into the league. You know, they had just played each other in the national championship, Michigan State versus Indiana State. I forget who won. I want to say Michigan State won, but once again, besides the point. You know, the Lakers-Celtics rivalry was renewed in the 80s. That's when you really start to see the personalities come out. You know, you had the Bad Boy Pistons. You know, you had Charles Barkley with the Sixers, Dr. J. Michael Jordan had just came around the middle of the decade. You had Dominique Wilkins. Spud Wells like late 80s. But the point is, you know, you had a lot of flash, a lot of personality. It made the NBA enjoyable. And then you had players that genuinely despise one another. Bill Laimbeer and Charles Barkley, you're not going to catch them drinking beer with each other. Those two despise each other. You know, obviously Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley, you know, some of y'all may know about it. I didn't know Charles Oakley was really that gnarly like that, you know, until, you know, part of me kind of thought, you know, not from watching the clips, but like, you know, for that incident at Madison Square, when that dude bucked up on him, and Charles Oakley was like, get the man out, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, that's how I found out that Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley had beef. You know, both good players, by the way, but you know, you saw more fights, obviously, you know, but it wasn't like, oh, the refs were quick to throw them out the game. They still let them play to an extent, you know, unless it was really out of control, to where, you know, it was like a lot of restraints and all that. That's the only time the referees and the NBA really sat there and say, okay, y'all going a little too far now. We got to suspend y'all. That's how I look at it. And back in the 80s, well into the 90s, because this happened in the 90s. So I'm going to talk about the 90s just momentarily. But, you know, to me, the 80s established rivalries and competition, not with the teams, but with the players. The players wanted to beat the living fuck out of each other. Magic Johnson always wanted to beat Larry Bird. Isaiah Thomas always wants to beat both Bird and Magic. Charles Barkley wanted to come out and rep, you know, Charles Barkley and Moses Malone and Dr. J. They trying to merge for that Celtics shadow. You know, it was like competition. Like one year, the Sixers were there. You know, the next year, it's the Celtics. And then later on, it's the Pistons. Even in the West, like, yeah, when Lakers was there a lot, but even when the Lakers wasn't there, the Rockets was there with Hakeem and Ralph Sampson, Twin Towers, you know. And you had competitive teams in the 80s. You know, teams that didn't even make it to the NBA Finals, but they were close. They at least got to the Western Conference Finals, excuse me. You know, you had that. It's going to be a long video, by the way, so just, y'all need to buckle up. But yeah. And there was, the 80s started to die down, and we got to the 90s, you know, it became about the Jordan Bulls. Scottie Pippen, John Paxson, Charles Oakley was there early on, before he went to the Knicks. You know, Phil Jackson was the head coach. And then, like, the back half of the 90s, you had freaking, you know, you still had Jordan and Pippen and Phil Jackson, but, you know, you had Dennis Rodman there, you had Steve Kerr, you had Ron Harper. You know, that team was unstoppable in the 90s. And you didn't really see too many people wanting to team up with the Chicago Bulls just to win championships. They wanted to knock them off. Patrick Ewing and company at the Knicks, they wanted to beat the Bulls. Shaq and Freddie Hardaway with the Magic, they wanted to beat them. You know, Spurs trying to come, you know, with David Robinson and that later on Tim Duncan, they wanted theirs. Like, people were honored, and not honored, but people, you know, I guess it's like, you know, with free agency and all that, it's like, it's because like coming up, like back in the day, when you was drafted by a team, you, for the most part, you stayed with that team throughout your entire career unless you were traded. And that's how I look at it with the NBA, you know. A lot of these NBA players back then, they stayed with one team because it wasn't really any free agency. So it wasn't, you know, I think that played a part in rivalries forming. But then in 1997, this was the ultimate turning point that influenced today's NBA. Well, 96, I should say, 96-97 season. This happened. The Houston Rockets, you know, they first out 2 titles with Hakeem and Clyde Drexler at the time. Kenny the Jet Smith was on that team. I think he had left the Rockets by this point, but he was on the mid-90s Rockets team that won back-to-back. Otis Thorpe was there. Robert Horry was there before he went to the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. Charles Barkley did not win a championship with the Sixers. I think he got there like a year or two too late after they won in 83. He got there 84, I think. Like 2 seasons after the last championship. You know, then the Sixers started to suck in the early 90s. He left, went to the Suns. He got to the finals in 93. That was his first and only trip to the NBA Finals. They lost to Jordan's Bulls in 6. So you have that going down. You know, the Suns was still a good team by 96, but like you had to think like, but by 90, but also by that same time, you know, Charles Barkley was getting older. He was running out of time. He wanted to win. He wanted to win. He was in the win now mode. So he teamed with the Rockets. You know, Rockets was still a pretty good team. You know, like I said, just 2 seasons removed from going back to back. Yeah, we're making buildings down here. I think that's gonna be a hotel. I'm not 100% sure Ralph the Rip. That's gonna be a hotel. This is a hotel. But yeah, they did get to the Western Conference Finals in '97, so they lost to the Jazz. And then '99 happens, the lockout, whatever. That's besides the point. Scottie Pippen, he joins the Rockets. You know, this is after the Bulls broke up. You know, Jordan retired. Phil Jackson decided to go coach the Lakers. Rodman, I think he went to Lakers as well, or the Spurs. No, it was the Lakers. It was the Lakers. They went finished his career with the Mavericks. A lot of, you know, the Bulls broke up. So, you know, Scottie Pippen wanted to continue to win titles. He felt the Rockets were a good chance. You know what we have? We have a super team. I think to me, that was the first ever super team that was ever built. That 98, 99 Houston Rockets. But Hakeem, Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen. Drexler had retired by this point, so. Scottie Pippen only played 1 year. They did go to the playoffs. They lost to the Lakers in the first round. And then Scottie Pippen goes on to the Trailblazers the year after. I think they had a trade. I think there was a trade went down. So, and then the Houston Rockets in 99, 2000, old age caught up to them. And they were just not a good team. I think they went like 34-48 that year. Yeah, they missed the playoffs. They were banged up really bad. But as we get into the millennium, you know, you had this dominance with Shaq and Kobe. You know, the Western Conference was stacked. You know, Shaq and Kobe with the Lakers. David Robinson and Tim Duncan with the Spurs. Jazz, obviously, with Karl Malone, John Stockton, and the Timberwolves with Kevin Garnett. They also got the Mavericks coming up with Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash, Michael Finley. So, you know, he had that going down as well. You know, even when you think there's going to be some competition, Lakers was still coming out on top. But, you know, after a while, it did start to change. The Spurs did get there 1 year. Then the Lakers got back. Then the Mavericks got there 1 year. Shit's crazy to me, though. Go this way. But then you had another super team. 2003, 2004. Okay, what happens this season? We'll get to that guy that got drafted in the '03 draft momentarily, because he is the sole proprietor of this video that's going down right now. So 2003, 2004. You know, the Lakers, they lost to the second round, the playoffs the year before. They still had Shaq and Kobe. Gary Payton, premier point guard, you know, great passer. You know, he made it to the NBA Finals in '96 with the Seattle Supersonics, him and Sean Kemp. They lost to Jordan in '6. Then he was traded to the Bucks for Ray Allen in 02-03. Then he joins the Lakers, because at this point, Gary Payton is yet to win an NBA title. He would go on to win one with the Heat though in '06. So at least he did get a title before he retired. But yeah, 03-04, like I said, you know, Lakers get Sean Payton. They didn't want to get Karl Malone. You know, Karl Malone, Utah Jazz. You know, he was there for like 19 seasons, or 18. It was a long time. So, you know, y'all know he even got to the finals. Him and John Stockton and Byron Russell with the Utah Jazz. They got there twice, 97 and 98. Also lost to Jordan in '6. So they all team up with the Lakers. You know, for almost like Sean Payton, Gary Payton, and Karl Malone. Like I said, this is at the time they have yet to win the NBA title. They're getting up there in age. They wanted to win one before they retired. You know, Lakers were still pretty stacked. They felt that this was a good opportunity for them to do so. So now we got another super team. And I don't hate the Lakers, but I've never been a Laker guy. You know, I just feel like the way I feel about the Lakers is the same way I feel about the Cowboys. I just couldn't, like, well, not worse for the Cowboys. I would say more so like Alabama football. I just can't, well, Duke basketball, more so Duke basketball. That's how I feel about the Lakers. I just could not get into the Lakers, just like I couldn't get into Duke basketball when I was a kid, because there's just too many people rocking with those teams. And the reason, we already know why, they were winning. And I always there to be different. I'd rather go against the grain than to join forces. Why do you think I'm not a Georgia Atlanta sports fan? There are a plethora of Atlanta sports fans here in the state. Why would I want to team up with y'all where I can venture off? And thank God I discovered the Broncos before I discovered the Falcons. So I'd rather go my own route. That's how I feel. All right, spit again. Mr. Biggs. Anyways, that's thesis right there. Hey, I just went against the grain. I never joined forces. But the point is, you know, a lot of people are definitely rocking with the Lakers around this time. I don't really see too many people rock with the Lakers nowadays. Well, rephrase that. You know, it would have, like, after Shaq and Kobe left, it was a period when nobody was really rocking with Lakers too tough. You only had a few Laker fans around here. Because obviously a lot of people rock with Lakers again because of LeBron and Anthony Davis. More on that when we get towards the end of this video. But yeah, Lakers was a pretty stacked team in '04. They did get to the finals. I thought it was the Timberwolves' year that year, because like Timberwolves had number 1 seed. It's like nothing was going to get in their way to get to the finals, but I was wrong. Lakers wind up being the antidote of stopping the Timberwolves yet again. Then what makes it funny is that the Lakers, they lost to a Detroit Pistons team. A lot of people like to disrespect the 2004 Pistons, talking about they had no superstars. Granted, like, you may not, you know, if you're talking about like Hall of Fame, maybe you have a point there, but the Pistons have some superstars. Well, you think they got to the finals by accident? Chauncey Billups was pretty good. Ben Wallace was a force under that net. Tayshaun Prince was pretty solid as well. You know, a lot of people don't give Tayshaun Prince his props. I will. The dude was pretty solid. Rip Hamilton was dope, man. Like, y'all talking about Pistons. Y'all talk about the Pistons team that y'all talk about the Pistons that year. Those superstars. They said they went 42-40 and got to the finals. I forget what seed they were, but it was a high seed, like 2 or 3, something like that. I doubt they were the 1 seed. I think the Pacers were. Y'all talk about as if they were not good. The Pistons were really good. They got there because they played great. They were supposed to be. They played like they were supposed to be there. Now compared to the Lakers, yeah, they're their favorite team. They're the underdogs, But sometimes the underdog has their day, and the Pistons sure as fuck have their days. Like, they was on that Birdman shit. Like, y'all gonna put some respect on our motherfucking name. We didn't just get here just by accident. You got us whooped up. Yeah, that was another super team. You notice a theme here? These super teams failed. They failed. There's no titles going on. But then, fast forward to 2007, 2008. We get another super team. And this one does involve Ray Allen. Paul Pierce is already with the Celtics. Antoine Walker had left the Celtics by then. I think he retired or something. So, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen comes there. Kevin Garnett, after just getting owned by the Lakers in the West, he left to come to the East. Finally, don't have to deal with Kobe Bryant and company anymore. By then, Shaq had left the Lakers, went to the Heat, got him another title. Like I said, with the Dwayne Wade, which is not a super team, by the way. That Heat team was not a super team. Not in 06. They had that solid 1-2 punch with Shaq and Dwayne. That was it. Gary Payton was there, like I said, he finally got him a title. He finally rode for the sunset. But 2007, 2008, the Celtics developed the super team, got their own super team. A lot of people say that's the first. No, that's the third. The 98-99 Rockets was the first. 03-04 Lakers was the second. Celtics 07-08 was the third. All right, I'm going to turn back around now. But yeah. That Celtics team was pretty damn unstoppable. And I felt, I think the Celtics did make the playoffs in 07. They got bounced out early. But I felt like, you got powers in the East now because, the West had all the powers. And it was slowly shifted towards the East. Nobody expected the Heat to fall flat like they did. Let's get that under perspective now. Nobody expected the Heat to fall fast, but they did. Pistons are still pretty good. Well, Ben Wallace coming. I don't know, but Pistons is still a pretty good team. They were still contending. Obviously by this time LeBron is in the league. Cavaliers, they became a really solid basketball team. They had just went to the finals in 07. I think they got swept by the Spurs. The Orlando Magic was coming up with Dwight Howard. Shut up, Slitter. I already know you're gonna say, "Oh, Orlando Magic suck." You already know I'm not a Magic fan. I was a Dwight Howard fan. But anyways, that's besides the point. But yeah, the East had you had to battle in the East now to really get to the finals. And the Celtics knew that. They went and got their own super team. A lot of people started out with the Celtics in. I had nothing against the Celtics. I always respected their franchise, I didn't really, and honestly, when I was a kid, I didn't really care too much about the Celtics because the Celtics were trash. There was a 5th place in the Atlanta division team, always missed the playoffs. But they earned my respect over the time, knowing their history, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, even back in the 60s with Bill Russell. They earned my respect, But that Celtics team, they did it. They got it done. They went 66-16. You had Rondo, coming up. Then they went to the finals. They beat the Lakers that year. And they became the first. I think a lot of people regard them as the first super team because they're the first super team to actually win an NBA title. Then a couple years later, now we're going to get to y'all guy. I know a lot of y'all are LeBron fans. Don't lie. You're a LeBron fan. But yeah, I was a LeBron fan. I was. So if I can admit it, you can admit it too. But yeah, LeBron getting frustrated by coming up short against the Pistons, the Magic, the Celtics in the Eastern Conference playoffs. we fast forward to 2010, and by this time, this where everything started a lot of old school NBA fans really started to say fuck the NBA because they see what the fuck is going on by this time. So 2010, the Heat had just got trounced in the first round by the Celtics. Dwayne Wade needs help. They get Chris Bosh from the Raptors to the Heat. And then you have the decision. But LeBron James decides to take his talents to South Beach to join the Miami Heat. I had zero problem with the decision, the airing, because I watched it. Yeah, I watched it in real time. I had no problem with going to the Miami Heat. But I also look at it as a situation to where you need, you can, it's like a situation where you couldn't beat them, join them. It's not like the Heat had made it to the finals with Dwayne Wade by himself. Like I said, he did make it 1 year, but that was with Shaq. So Dwayne Wade needed help as well. They formed a super team. This is where I got the problem with. People, Celtic fans, Laker fans, Orlando Magic fans, all these cats, they want to be Heat fans now. That's where I had the problem. It's like, come on now. Are y'all serious? Y'all despise this man when he's with Cleveland. Now y'all on jockstrap because he's in the South Beach and he's tearing it up, and now he's finally winning. Stephen A was ripping this guy a new asshole because he couldn't win the big one. Now he's kissing his ass because he's finally winning the big one. Y'all got nerds to talk about Tom Brady fans. You LeBron fans are just as bad, just as crazy as the Tom Brady fans. Let's keep it thorough. Just saying. But yeah, no one made a stronger impact on the super teams than the Miami Heat that year, that stretch, early 2010s with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. Then later on, Ray Allen joins. Somebody else, another big name joined too. I forget though. But all y'all cats, it's like it started a snowball effect of can't beat them, join them. Look at Kevin Durant. He couldn't beat the Warriors when he was at OKC. When he had Russell Westbrook and Serge Ibaka with him. Couldn't beat him. So you know what he does? He joins the Warriors. Go pussyfoot his way to the title. Because he couldn't do it at OKC. And I did not respect Kevin Durant after that. Like, I respect his game, but I can't respect it. I did not respect the decision. At the end of the day, it is his decision. But I can respect it. Because you had played that same team in the Western Conference Finals the year before. You had a 3-1 lead over them, and you couldn't finish them. But yet, in the offseason, you go join that team? What the fuck? I would have respected this decision a lot more had the OKC Thunder lost in the first round and just say, fuck it. If I can't get past the first round this year, when am I going to get past the first round? When am I going to get to the finals? You played that same team in the Western Conference Finals the year before and had a beat, and you couldn't finish the deal, then you going to join them? That'd be like if Peyton Manning, going through his heartaches against the Chargers, because I think they lost to the Chargers twice, maybe twice in the playoffs, and the Chargers seem to have their way with Peyton Manning in the regular season. That'd be like, oh, Peyton Manning struggling against the Chargers all this time, always losing to them. I think he did beat them once or twice, but constantly losing to them. All of a sudden, he go join forces down in San Diego, be like, you know what, I'm gonna go play for the Chargers because I can't beat them. It's like, come on. I can't respect that, dude. Thankfully, Peyton came to the better team in the AFC West after his neck surgery. So, Peyton is as smart as he looks and acts. So, that's that. But you know, you got all these super teams. You had the Brooklyn Nets. They had their super team, but Kevin Durant, I don't even know where the fuck he at now. Is he still with the Nets? I think last time I checked, he had left. I think he did. Yeah, he did leave because he's with the Suns now. I think. Yeah, he's over there with CP3. So like, Kevin Durant is the ultimate scapegoat. Like, he wonders why a lot of people don't respect him as a man. You quit to jump on super team to super team. You went to the Warriors, super team. You got your title. Then you went to the Nets with Kyrie and I forget who else, but I know they had a third superstar on their team. Y'all couldn't do shit. Yeah, you was in the playoff. You in the playoff picture. Hell, the Nets still in the playoff picture now. Won't matter much. They're gonna get bounced by the Sixers or the Bucks, whoever they draw in the first round. They're gonna get bounced by them. So that's not gonna matter much. Gotta spit in here. So you had that going down. And now he's with the Suns with CP3. Who are not just, who are not playing like the Phoenix Suns that we saw in the NBA Finals 2 seasons ago. How do you think the Warriors got back? Honestly, God, I don't know who's going to come out the West this year. A lot of people like to say the Nuggets. They'll find a way to lose in the Western Conference Finals. My condolences, Broncos country, who are Nuggets fans. That's reality. Your team's not going to the NBA Finals this year. Enjoy this season, though. You're going to be the 1 seed, and you're going to get bounced in the Western Conference Finals. That's what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to beat you, but somebody's going to beat you. The only way you get to the finals, you better hope you draw the Grizzlies. Because I got zero faith in the Grizzlies getting to the finals. Zero. I don't care they got Ja Morant, Steven Adams, and all that. They're not getting to the finals either. So you better hope you draw them. If you get to Western Conference Finals, you better hope to God you get the Grizzlies. Because if you get anybody else, or say 1 through 6, 3 through 6, if you get any of those teams, Suns, and whoever the fuck else in that stretch, it's tombstones for you. You out. So they're going to beat you. Maybe you'll get lucky and LeBron and them have a late season surge and you'll get Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. No, you'll lose to them too. I just call it like I see it, people. But yeah, it's just a lot of, it's just these super teams. You got flopping and all that. It killed the integrity of the NBA. It killed the integrity of the NBA that I enjoyed watching in the 90s and early millennium. And granted, that's not going to come back. I'm in acceptance of that. See, y'all think that y'all younger cats think that us older guys, we talk about how something used to be back in the good old days, but it sucks donkey ass today. But you fail to point out that even though we feel this way about certain things in today's NBA or about today's society, because it's not the same as yesteryear, you fail to, oh, now the sun's coming out, thank God. You fail to realize that, you failed to point out that we said that, you failed to say that, that we do accept the fact that times are changing. And we may not like the change. We may not agree with it. But we are in acceptance of it. At least I am. Like music. I grew up listening to boom bap, excuse me. Boom bap sounds like some kids pop type shit, but no. I grew up listening to boom bap and all that crunk music. That was my childhood. Today you got mumble rap. You can't understand what these cats are saying. I'm not a fan. I don't like that type of music. However, I do accept that this is what's going down today. This is what people are into. I can accept that. You know, just because things are, just because we have a change in society doesn't mean we have to like it. Doesn't mean, we may not agree with it, but we live with it because this is the reality we live in. This is what's going down now. Super teens and flopping and all that shit, that's in now. And like I said, sadly, it kills the integrity of the NBA. That's why I feel that the NBA today sucks. It's not going to be the same. It never will be the same. It's, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, we can get the old NBA back." When the whole Ja Morant, Shannon Sharp thing went down at the Laker game back in January. That was just a little small sample of what you used to in the '90s. Don't get y'all hopes up thinking, "Oh, the old NBA finna come back." No, it's not. It's not. I think it was like another fight that happened like a couple days after that at another game. But it's not coming back, y'all. I hate to bust y'all bubble, but that type of style is not returning for good. He was like, and this is why. Is yeah, these NBA players rather be friends. There's no problem with them being friends off the court. But they rather be friends on the court, whatever. That has nothing to do with it. The main thing is it's not coming back because there's too many rules that that you may have got away with some of those rules in the '90s, but you're not getting away with those rules today. Just too many rules, too many rule changes. People are concerned about safety and all that. They want friendly basketball games. That's why that style that we witnessed in the '90s, even my elders in the '80s, their style's not coming back ever again. Not full time. It's not. Hate to say it, but it's facts. But some of y'all say that the NBA doesn't suck. That's your opinion. But if you're going to get up here, and that's fair, everybody has their own opinion when it comes to certain things. If you don't think the NBA sucks, you like today's NBA, that's fine. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to say this part, but let me go and squeeze this in just in case I forgot. If you're into today's NBA, that's fine and dandy. Like I said, that's your opinion. I respect it. But if you get up here and be like, today's NBA is better than 80s and 90s NBA, once again, that's your opinion. But I'm going to tell you that you're crazy. I'm not a fan of today's NBA. That's why I lost luster for the NBA. And that's why I don't really watch the NBA anymore. I watch the All-Star break, like the three-point shootout. And I don't even watch the slam dunk contest anymore because it's not really as good. It's the same type of dunks, man. Like, it's nothing really new. I think the last good NBA slam dunk competition I saw was Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. That was like a couple years back. Maybe like 2015 or 16. That was it. It's not really appealing anymore. I watched the skills contest in a three-point shootout because the integrity of those are not really going to change. It's still going to be, they may do like, when I was younger, they did like one half of the court. They may do like both halves of the court, both halves of the court. They'll like have two people do like compete in a three-point shootout at the same time. But the integrity of both are still there. It is. That's why I'll still watch that. I only watch the actual gaming. The rookie sophomore games, I'll still watch that as well if they still doing that. I do enjoy that, but they killed even the actual All-Star game itself. I'm not a fan of this LeBron versus Giannis thing. And I think like you get to a certain amount of points you win. Like, come on, like where's integrity? Where is the integrity? I just don't see it anymore. And I do have a problem with that. A major problem. But like I said, this is what the people are into nowadays. I can't blame them. No, seriously, I can't blame y'all, but hey, to each its own. That is that. Cause like, and I hate me. I know it's a long video, but I gotta let it be known because there's not too much stuff that bothers me. It really isn't. But the one statement that truly bothered me and sparked this video, I think Slidhead was doing a live stream of an NBA game, or I don't know. He was doing some stream talking about the NBA. It might have been streaming the NBA game. And I said something about the NBA sucks. And he said, of course you think the NBA sucks, A-Fizz. You don't have an NBA team. And the team that you did right with suck. And I just thought that logic made absolutely no sense at all. None. So I was like, what are you trying to say, Slitter? So if I had an NBA team, that I would say that the NBA rules? Dude, even I was rocking with Dwight Howard back in the day. Well, it's not really back in the day, but like a decade ago. Late 2000s into the early 2010s. Even when I was rocking with Dwight Howard back in the day. When I was a LeBron fan, I was still saying that the NBA sucked. Because at that time, it started to suck. Yeah, nothing to do with, oh, I don't have an NBA team. That was the worst fucking logic I ever heard anyone spew in my fucking ear. I was like, is this talking a lot now? Need some water. Shit. That made absolutely no fucking sense. There are people that don't have NBA teams that may fit the NBA rules. There are people who do have NBA teams that think the NBA sucks. Just because I don't have a team, it doesn't mean that I think it sucks. I don't have an MLS team. I don't watch soccer. But am I going to come out and say soccer sucks because I don't have an MLS team? No. It's just that I'm not interested in soccer. I'm not interested in lacrosse. But I'm not going to say, well, lacrosse sucks because mainly because I don't have an NLL team. No, it's not because it's not because I don't have it. Okay, let me rephrase it. Okay, I don't have a lacrosse team. But I'm not going to get her and say, oh, lacrosse sucks. I don't have an NLL team because I don't watch it, because I'm not interested. It doesn't mean I think it sucks. Same with soccer. I don't watch soccer. So I can't say whether it sucks or not. I'm not interested in that. But I have watched the NBA back in the day. In the 90s and 00s. I have the right to say the NBA sucks if I feel that the NBA sucks. It's not appealing. Shit. I just lost this luster. Hell, I got an NFL team. And I can get up, and I'll say this. The NFL today is not as hardcore and watchable today as it was when I was coming up. And it's not because, the Broncos are not doing well. It was because the rules. Too many rule changes. Too much, and I'm going to set this to the change once again, but these changes are unnecessary. You go from 16 games to 17, and go from 4 preseason games to 3, then you get these players a week off before week 1. If you're going to take away a preseason game and add a 17th regular season game, the least you can do is move the season up 1 week and start after the 3rd week of the preseason. That's the least you can fucking do. That logic makes sense. They built some new apartments over here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but they built new apartments. All right, I'm gonna turn back around. I don't get too far out the way. I want to stay closer to downtown, seeing my cars over here downtown. But it's parked in the safe spot, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I just didn't get that logic that Slater was trying to spew. But I know it's a long video, but if you want to know my reason why I think the NBA sucks, because I feel that y'all, after that, y'all need an explanation. Okay, Fizzle, you said the NBA sucks. Why do you think the NBA sucks? There you have it. Too many rule changes, too many unnecessary changes with the All-Star break. Too many, it feels scripted, it feels scripted like the WWE, with the flopping and all that. And too many super teams. Too many can't beat them, join them type of people. That's why I think the NBA sucks. The only change that the NBA has done that has been successful is the playoff format. Let me rephrase that. Parts of the playoff format. Back in 2003, back in 2002, you play in the first round, it's 3 out of 5. And then in the second round, it was 4 out of 7. And then rest of the way. And then in 2003, they changed the format, so it's not 3 out of 5 anymore. It's 4 out of 7 in the first round, just like it is in the second round, conference finals, and NBA finals. I was cool with that change. But let me get to the playoff format too. This is another reason why I think the NBA sucks. I'm glad I thought about the playoff format. That part of the playoff format with going from 3 out of 5 to 4 out of 7, I'm agree with. This part I don't agree with. Okay, so you know how the playoff format is now. When you was coming up, because I can't say baby boomers will remember this because the playoff format was different back in the 60s and 70s. But like, if you're a millennial, Gen X, or early parts of Generation Z, you remember how the playoff format is. The top 8 teams in each conference make the damn playoffs. Obviously, you had 2 divisions at the time, and then like after 2004, it was like 3. Obviously, the top 3 the 3 division winners get the top 3 seeds. Go back to that, and then let the remaining 5 teams with a better record go to the playoffs. The format they got now is like, you got the top 6 teams in the conference, regardless of record, are locked in the playoffs. Then you got 7, 8, 9, 10 in the play-in. Playing it in the play-in tournament just to get to the actual playoffs. And this is a problem I have with sport, be it the NBA, NFL, and MLB. It's like they're adding in playoff spots for no reason. It's becoming I want to go too. And then say, you know what? We're going to add another playoff spot so you can go to. What happened to the format we had? NBA, just top 8 teams. What the fuck is this playing shit? Why do you need 2 more teams in each conference to make the playoffs? To play additional basketball after the regular season is over with. You're going to have a situation where you're going to have bad teams make the playoffs where they don't deserve to make it. It's going to kill the NBA. It's going to really kill the NBA all entirely. And then you're going to have people that's going to really complain like, stop having these bad teams in the playoffs. Just like with the NFL, the format, 6 teams in each conference make the playoffs. Take the 4 best, 4 division winners and the two better team, 2 non-division winners with a better record. You don't need a 7th playoff spot. You don't. That's why you had an 8-8 Chicago Bears team make the playoffs in 2020. Unnecessary. They didn't earn it. It was hand-gifted to them. They added a 17th game. Why? Just like with MLB, adding a 3rd wild card spot. Why? So the Phillies can make the playoffs? So the Mariners can snap their 21-year playoff drought? You feel bad for these teams that haven't made the playoffs in forever and a day, so you're trying to gift wrap them spots? You try to add additional spots so you get gift wrap them playoff berths? They're not earning it. They're going to be, because they already, you know, some of these teams are already like lustrous. They're going to be like, hell, we're going to make the playoffs anyway. We don't got to play that bad. We don't got to play good. We're going to be in it because we got another playoff spot. It's killing sports. College basketball is the only one who's doing it right. I got no problem with the 6 versus 6, 11 versus 11, you know, making it 64 to 68. Because it's not killing the integrity of college basketball. Because, like, it is like a play-in, but, like, but the integrity of the playoffs, the tournament is still there. You're still going to have 16 teams in the East, 16 teams in the Midwest, 16 teams in the South, 16 teams in the West region. Make up your 64. You still going to have your March Madness. In college football, just too many bowl games. But I'm not going to get into that. I'll let y'all college football obsessors talk about that because a lot of y'all have been vocal about how college football is nowadays. But yeah, just too, you know, I feel like these sports, these leagues are doing too much for no reason. Added in unnecessary spots for no fucking reason. And it's killing the integrity of their league and really sports in general. We don't need play-in tournaments. But we got them anyway, so it is what it is. That give the Hawks a chance to make the playoffs. You know, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. Hell, even Slater can tell you that. They'll give the Raptors a chance to make the playoffs, even though they don't deserve to make the playoffs. But let A-Fizzle tell you, the Raptors deserve to be in the playoffs because they were the 10 better teams. Hell, if it was 8 teams, your ass wouldn't be in there either, A-Fizzle. I don't want to hear any gruff about, oh, stop hating on the Raptors. Nobody hating on the Raptors, dude. I call it like I see it. But anyways, now that I got that out of my system, I'm going to go enjoy my Friday because now the sun is out. Sadly, I'm not going to the beach today. I wish I could. But, you know, spring's just beginning. That's the only thing I'm going to tell y'all. It is springtime now. So, yeah, springtime is just beginning. So, I'm going to have an opportunity, hopefully, to go get that done. You know, give me a beach session in. We'll see. I'm ready. I've been waiting for it. You know, I let temperatures warm up. And I think the temperatures are going to stay a little bit warm for a while. I think we're done with the cold weather. But it won't surprise me if we have one more dip in the temperatures in the middle of April. Won't surprise me. But I feel like we're about done, though. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to bounce. Y'all be easy. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, but I had a lot to get off my chest. You know, I do not want to leave anything behind. So anyways, y'all be easy. I'm out. Till next time, A-Fizzle sign out.